To all those people watching, I would like to remind everyone that this video is not made strictly for kids. It is for older fans and adults too. Enjoy the fucking video! This video is brought to you by my loyal patrons. Register now at any tier to watch new videos 1 month in advance before they're made public. Link is in the description. In the spring, lots of people came to the Skarloey Railway to visit the engines after a new season of the television series had aired the previous year. Duncan was pleased to see this, but he was cross too. "Don't go over any old bridges today," called one passenger. "Got enough coal this time?" another laughed. Rusty rolled up alongside him with the maintenance train. "Don't worry, Duncan," someone teased. "Rusty's here to help." Even if he's a diesel. Duncan hissed steam. He didn't find the passengers' wisecracks to be funny at all. "Why do people believe all that nonsense on TV?" he fumed. "I wasn't trained to be careless. I just thought that old bridge was safe enough as it is." Rusty smiled gently. "People believe what they see on the screen, Duncan. Like that episode of me saving Stepney. Makes me look like a hero. But you and I know what really happened." "Exactly," huffed Duncan. "It's not fair. The people who know us best, our crew, our friends, they know the real us," said Rusty. "One day everyone else might too." "They better," grumbled Duncan as he puffed away. If you ever visit the island of Sodor and are interested in the stories of the various railways, then you should visit the Railway Archives. It's a treasure trove of stories over the years with all the engines across the island of Sodor, big or small. Let's take a look at all the stories that are a blast from the past. Mr. Roger Sam, the Thin Controller, had introduced a new type of special train, wedding trains. Couples get to choose an engine that will take them and their guests to the station waiting room at Skarloey for the ceremony, and will then travel back to Krovinsgate for the after party. "Wedding trains," Duncan said eagerly. "If I'm chosen, everyone will see that I'm not some careless engine from the TV." "Ha!" laughed Sir Handel. "They never pick you. What if you lose your whistle again? Or fall in another muddy pond?" "Better than hanging over a cliff like you did," Duncan shot back. "I learned my lesson," snapped Sir Handel. "So did I." "But those who watched that TV show didn't see that part," Duncan fumed. "Enough, both of you," interrupted Roger Sam. "The couple will choose what engine they want. No arguments." A few days later, Mr. Roger Sam gathered his engines for a big announcement. "Our first couple for the wedding train had chosen their engine," he said. "Mr. Christopher and Jennifer Williams have picked Skarloey." Duncan's heart sank. "I figured," he thought. "Congratulations, Skarloey," he said quietly. "Thank you, Duncan," said Skarloey kindly. "I know you're disappointed, but one day I'm sure someone will choose you too. Not everyone believes what they see on television." Duncan puffed away with some hope burning in his boiler. The big day finally arrived, but something was wrong. "I feel ill," groaned Skarloey. His driver inspected his boiler and frowned. "Your boiler tubes are clogged up. They need a good clean." "But what about the wedding train?" Skarloey cried. "It's today." "I know," sighed the driver. "We'll have to tell the Thin Controller." Mr. Roger Sam was inspecting the Blue Mountain Quarry when the news reached him. Without delay, he hopped on board Mark the trolley and raced back to the shed. "What dreadful timing," he muttered. "I'll have to pick the first engine I see." As Mark rounded a bend, he saw Duncan. Duncan, the thing controller called out. Skarloey's out of action and I need you to take the wedding train for him. Leave your trucks at a siding and head to the yards to be cleaned. Fast! Aye, sir, Duncan replied, and he steamed off as fast as he could. He was excited, but nervous too. At the yards, workmen rushed out with buckets and rags as guests for the wedding were waiting on the station platform. Hurry, hurry, Duncan said urgently, as the workmen cleaned and scrubbed as fast as they could. Soon he was all polished and cleaned from funnel to footplate and made his way towards his coaches. The bride was surprised to see him backing down towards the train. I thought it was Skarloey, not the yellow grump, said the bride. Why is he pulling the train? Then the thing controller explained the whole situation, as Duncan winced at the bride's comment and was not paying attention. He bumped the coaches hard and the decorations had all fallen down. Oh, typical of him, cried the bride crossly. That took the decorators hours. Sorry, replied Duncan, burning bright red from embarrassment. The clean-up took a while, resulting in the train being delayed. But after the decorators had cleaned up Duncan's mess, and when the groom arrived, everyone scrambled into the coaches. I better show them who I really am, Duncan said to himself with feeling. After the guard blew her whistle, he quickly puffed away, trying to make up for lost time. Must hurry, panted Duncan nervously. But this resulted in the coaches swaying and lurching from side to side. I don't feel so well, groaned the bride. Nor did the other guests. At last, Duncan arrived at the station and managed to make up for the lost time. Ah, we made it, sighed Duncan happily. But the passengers got out of the train grumbling. The bride was still not feeling well. Some engine you are, replied her mother crossly. It's lucky that you didn't throw up. You're not wedding train material. You're just the same as on TV, added the groom crossly. Duncan tried to explain, but it was no use. Everyone still thinks he's just the same as his TV counterpart. After the ceremony, the bride and groom went around the station getting their pictures taken, but none near Duncan. He then quietly made his way back to Gate. Oh no, cried a little boy on the train. I dropped my flowers. Stop, driver, cried Duncan as he applied the brakes. Oh, what now? Groaned one of the guests. But the driver ignored him and saw the flowers that the little boy had dropped. Here you are, young man, he said. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Duncan, replied the boy happily. At least someone's appreciative today, he thought happily. He arrived at Gate, and the guests walking towards their bus for the after-party did not say a word of gratitude to Duncan. All except for the young boy with flowers. Thank you again, Duncan, for rescuing my flowers. You know, I think you did well today. You think so? Duncan gasped. Yes, your heart was in the right place, and I do know a good engine when I see one. And he told them about his past events he had read in the books about him and his friends. Thank you, Duncan replied quietly. Come along, Simon, called out his mother. Okay, he cried. Bye, Duncan. See you next time. And he raced away. What a nice lad, Duncan thought happily. Sorry for placing you on this job at the last minute, Duncan, said the thing controller. That's alright, sir. I got them there, and that's what matters. But I don't think anyone else would want me to pull future wedding trains. Well, we just have to wait and see. I'll tell your story to everyone at the reception party. More weddings had come and gone, and many different engines were chosen to pull them. But despite what the thing controller had said to him on the day, many couples had avoided using Duncan. But little did he know that many years later, one couple walked into the office of Roger Sam's successor, Mr. Percival. "Now, Simon, Olivia, which engine would you like to pull your wedding train?" he asked. "Duncan," they both said instantly. But that's a story for another day.